Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time right now for you, it is 7:45. And as usual, at this time, we have commentary from Mr. Kingsley Defreitas. Kingsley, good morning to you. Wait, before you even say that, Kingsley, you set me up Saturday, man. But anyhow, go ahead. I was dressed and I was waiting. So everybody hearing, you fraud me out.
I listened to you this morning and you say you're having some blunder and you think it's because you're not well rested, right? I don't think you should apologize for that because I think that you're still being responsible. The reason why I'm saying so, right? I've been around WEFM for a long time. And there is a group of people, I don't know if you know them, but they call themselves Jews, I told you so. And those are the ones who would like to say you should try avoid having Kingsley and other forces on the radio because they will make a mistake and let the station be sued. Recently, I saw an article where a particular radio station have to make an apology to the Prime Minister for a statement made by a lead counsel. A lead counsel is supposed to be a responsible person. And I listen to you saying, boy, I'm up my full game. And that happened to most of us. But here what happened? You have developed a relationship with certain people on the radio. And when they call, in the back of your mind, you don't have to say, I keep my finger on the mouth to cut them off in case they say anything they shouldn't say. Because you trust them. That puts you in a position that you have to still be responsible. And you know, it's amazing, eh? Because people could call and they could develop a nice relationship with you and they could say something that is not true about somebody in authority or even the average person who is listening. And then you have to find an apology, and apology comes with money and all that thing. So I am applauding you and my other friend there this morning. While sometimes you laugh and you call on certain things, I think I have to go along with that because you are inexperienced and it is going to be better every day when you become more mature. And in the back of your mind, you should have to remember that you have to be responsible and be guarded to somebody who might say something that they shouldn't say. And then they put the whole relationship in problem. And I'm calling this morning to applaud all our listeners and the ones who normally call and try to be as responsible as they should. Because here's something. One station called Extreme dying there wrong. One booming, but he booming with frustration because he has to make an apology to the Prime Minister. And WEFM is about community-oriented station, and it has, some people may say it is WEFM and it is ULP. That is not true. I am not a ULP supporter. I call on WEFM as often as I should. I sit on a Tuesday program. I try my best to be impartial, but I am not a ULP. But in my mind, I have to remember not to forget. Remember not to forget there are some people out there who are president, vice president, treasurer, and anything, are the Jews, I told you so. And you could bet your bottom dollar. When I reach WEFM or call WEFM, my mind goes straight to those people who just waiting. And as you get more mature, you'll find yourself in a position too, because you may say certain things that some people don't like and they will have you in their craft, according to the Prime Minister. And I am just using this opportunity to let the listeners and the people who follow WEFM, Mr. Good morning, Charlita, that we really appreciate you in our audience. You know how I just feel so good? Like, I met a guy, Mr. Noelin, from China. And he said to me, man, what happened? You didn't call this morning, but that morning I was in a position where I couldn't call. So that tells me that people look forward and miss the program when there is that program around. So I was just sharing that experience there. And you guys have a wonderful day, okay? And thanks for having me.
All right, no problem, Kingsley. And thanks for the words of encouragement as well. Thank you. All right. And that was today's commentary from Kingsley, in essence, about responsible radio programming, and for myself and Dianna, as well as for the listeners, as I've always said before too, I'm quite okay in my everyday life. I don't agree with a lot of people on many things. And it's no love lost whenever we don't see eye to eye. But it's just that I always expect everybody to be respectful. Dianna and I won't always agree on certain topics, but I would always be respectful towards her, right? And it's also the same thing that I'm going to expect from all listeners. And I think even last week, we saw several instances, at least two that I remember, that I didn't agree with the callers, but, they said their point, I said my point, and that was the end of it, So it's just about being responsible and being respectful. So, yes. Yeah. And Kingsley, the only reason why I'm making the apology is that I recognize when you're on radio, you need to be as close to being on point as possible. But I also do recognize that I'm also human, and there are going to be days like today when it's going to be a bit more of a challenge. So I'm going to try my very best to put forward my points properly and everything. So it's just one of those mornings, but I will be good. Yeah. But no, I really do think it's a smoker, because I keep telling people like that smoke, it slow poisons me. That's how I view smoke. Right, inhaling smoke is like a slow poison, and I don't know how long I was inhaling it for, because I was inhaling in my sleep. So I really do think that it's ought to mess me up a little bit this morning. But the show must go on, and here we are. All right. All right. So let's just head into a few things at this time. All right. So on the weekend, we would have noted, or many of us should be aware, of the passing of former MP Alan Cruikshank. So MP Cruikshank died on Saturday morning, and this was in a post by his son, Alan's son, Cruikshank. All right. So former MP Cruikshank was a member under the New Democratic Party and the administration from 1984 to 2001. So he served as Minister of Education, Health, Communications, Works, Agriculture, Industry, Labor, Foreign Affairs, Tourism, and Information. All right. So we are recognizing and acknowledging, and of course, we are sending condolences to the family, friends, and members and supporters and other well-wishers of the NDP party. All right. So we have lost another recognizable figure here in SVG. Again, we remember the passing of Pastor Noah Clark, and it's one of those situations where the people who I grew up seeing, they're passing away, and he was 73 years old. So at some point, these things are to be expected. Death is a part of life. I'm not trying to copy that New Haven ad, but death is literally a part of life, so it's just about making your years on earth count, and the mark or the legacy that you're leaving for persons who are going to remember you. All right. So condolences to everyone who mourned the passing of Mr. Cruikshank. All right.
Yeah. And we have another death. Last week, we were speaking about the tourist that drowned at Moncton. Another tourist unfortunately died in Union Island at Chatham Bay. The circumstances surrounding the death are still being investigated, so we don't have any more information just yet. Just that we know that a tourist died in Chatham Bay, and it's a suspected drowning, but we're waiting for more information.
All right, and I just want to see when this happened, though. I'm not All right, so I noticed that it's the article is posted on One News St. Vincent, One News SVG. So I was trying to see what date was. Okay. All right. I'm not seeing the date, but yeah, this happened very recently. All right. In other unfortunate news, and I'm sorry that we're bearing bad news this morning, but there are going to be good things happening in life, and there are also going to be negative things happening in life. So, reading from St. Vincent Times, Canadian vessel Venture vanishes after leaving St. Vincent. All right, so Bolo. So I think Bolo is beyond the alert, is it? Anyway, Ebola has been sent out for sailing vessel Venture and its only occupant, Canadian Captain J. Conto. Right, Venture left Chateaubriand St. Vincent on Monday, the 24th of February, and has not been heard from since. All right, at last contact on Monday at about 9:30, Conter advised that he was without an engine, and he was communicating via messenger with family in Canada at the time. All right. So Solar Captain J. Conter is 68 years old and is a Canadian citizen. So there hasn't been any reports at this time or updates with regards to this vessel that left the waters of St. Vincent.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Yeah, you are
be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, that's what happens when you watch criminal shows. you know these terms, all right. All right. So that is unfortunate news there as well. All right. There is a funny story as well on Eyewitness News. If we have to award Donkey of the Day, the Vinci version, it would have to be this particular person, all right? So I can't say the nickname on air, so I would just say Isht Top, right? Jailed for burglaries in home as owner slept in chair, all right? Now, you should go to Eyewitness News and read the story, but gentleman by the name of Colin Phil Blake has 45 years, has been sent to prison for 1 year and 5 months for stealing $3. Uno, dos, tres, right? $3 from businessman Venel Coombs, whose home he burglarized, all right? So the $3 part ain't really the funniest part. Well, I mean, it's funny, yes, but all right. So he actually went into Mr. Coombs' house as he slept in his chair, and Mr. Coombs was awakened by the noise, right? So he said that he's known Blake for the past 20 years, and Blake was going through his bag and documents relating to work, right? So Coombs said he's going to call the police on him. Now, Mr. Blake, on the cross-examination, this is the other funny part, right? So they were trying to establish his alibi. So in terms of where he was at the time of the offense. So he said that he was at his girlfriend's house at the time that it happened, right? So they asked him what's the name of his girlfriend.
You want to act it out? Let me be.
You go ahead and act it
him,
out.
and you be the prosecutor.
All right, go ahead. Let me go.
All right. So I was in Green Hill by my girlfriend, officer.
So what's your girlfriend name?
Bowens.
And what's her first name?
Larry.
Larry?
Yeah, Larry.
Larry's your girlfriend first name?
Yeah, that is my girlfriend name.
All right, and where she live in?
Up in Green Hill, up like in the back where they build the plan house them up there. So
you sure you were there on that night?
Yes. That I was by my girlfriend. I was yeah.
All right. So this is Blake, who's by a girlfriend called Larry Bowens. All right, and again, he didn't know exactly where to say, so he called Green Hill and he said where the house was in Padam build the houses in plan, right? So, I mean, it was one of those funny stories. You know, a lot of the times when we come across articles, they are serious and everything, but I mean, this is one of those funniest stories that I've read in a while, and hats off to, well, quote unquote, hats off to Mr. Blake, right? Not only are you going to go to jail for stealing $3, but in terms of, and my whole thing why it is I found this so funny is that you would think that you know that you're going to be cross-examined. You're going to be questioned.
Yeah, like,
oh gosh, Mr. Blake, at least think of something beforehand. I'm sure that this is not the first time that you've been through this experience. You think of something beforehand, you know? So I like criminals like these. I'm sorry, but I like criminals like these.
Listen, with the money part, when I was first reading, I really thought it was a typo, and I just kept reading, hoping that I would see the correct amount as I went down. But no.
Yeah, so Mr. Blake is heading to jail, or has headed to jail for 1 year and 5 months for what?
$3.
$3. All right. Time here in SPG. We are going to head on out of this segment. Time here in SPG. It is now 8 o'clock and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't